What's up, guys? It's Crash, and for opening night live with Gamescom, there was one thing I was looking for, and it did happen. We got to see some more information about the first-person shooter coming from Embark Studios called The Finals. So I want to take a look at it. The trailer is playing behind me. It was a really short trailer. If that sounds familiar to you guys, if Embark Studios sounds familiar, it's because we have talked about them on the channel before. It is a studio made up of a lot of former Battlefield developers that worked on some of the most beloved Battlefield titles. So I've always kind of kept my eye on it. I think a lot of Battlefield fans have also kept their eye on this studio to see what they come up with. And judging by their website and some of the blog posts that they've put out, there's a lot of innovative things going on over at Embark Studios. So it's only natural that we would be interested in a game like this. Also, if you guys didn't know, they were going to release Arc Raiders. We made some videos about that. That got delayed until next year. And this game, their first-person multiplayer shooter, got pushed up. So basically what I wanted to do is show you guys the trailer and then kind of look at it frame by frame and see what we can see is some of the stuff they mentioned briefly at Gamescom. And then I did find some more information over on the Steam page store. So I thought we could go through and read about the game just a little bit and see what we could find out and kind of react to it. Also, before we get into it, friend of the channel, Rockhound Black, he is centering his channel around Embark Studios games. So after this video, you guys might go check out his channel because he's going to be covering this stuff extremely in depth. If you're interested about it, I'm kind of going to do an overall reaction and then hopefully hear from you guys in the comments what you think. But I definitely want to check this out because there's some interesting gameplay aspects and it reminds me of some older games. So let's go ahead and get into it. So here's the trailer, and they preface this game as kind of taking place in a game show. That's why you see the insert coin. You're going to start playing like it's at an arcade. If you guys remember the game, I don't know, it's kind of out there. Radical Heights was kind of a BR that was around a game show as well. I thought that was a really interesting concept and was kind of sad to see that game kind of die out. But this is kind of picking up and running with that. So you see the insert coin. This is kind of focused around a game show type atmosphere. It definitely seems like a tactical or a competitive first-person shooter centered around a game show. So we see the insert coin, the Embark Studios logo. Again, it's got that kind of 80s vibe, just like Arc Raiders did. And then right off the bat, we see a lot of destruction. They said in there that the game centers around destruction. So a lot of the destruction that didn't happen in Battlefield 2042, you might be able to see here. There's a lot of destruction in this short trailer. So just keep that in mind, that destruction plays a large part in it. And in a tactical like first-person shooter, other than Rainbow Six Siege, I don't know of many arena type shooters that do that I can think of off the top of my head other than Siege. There is one of the characters. Again, this looks like the MG42 LMG with a bipod on it, and just absolutely explosions everywhere. But again, remembering that this is first person. In this image, I thought it was kind of interesting. We see a tablet here with some kind of eye on it, so I don't know if there's going to be a UAV or anything, but this looks like really close quarters combat. We see the name of the game and the logo, The Finals. Again, more explosions with destruction. It looks like the LMG's out in front. This is another gun we see a lot. We'll get a closer look of it, but another thing I like to see, cowboy hats. We got cowboy hats in this game. Honestly, cowboy hats are one of the only things that I will spend real life money on cosmetics on, to get a cowboy hat in game. So that gets me a little bit excited. Again, I think that, yeah, this is supposed to be free to play, if I remember right, but just the destruction that you guys can see is crazy. What is that? That's a little, that looks like maybe a freeze frame of potentially the arena that it takes place in. That's pretty cool. I didn't see that going through the first time. So then there's a little shot of the logo again, and what is that? It looks like almost looks like a phone booth or a vending machine. It looks like a vending machine gets thrown out up there. I don't know what this has to do with anything. It could be the branding of the game show. We also see a lot of melee combat. So in the first teaser we've seen for quite a while, it's been on Twitter, there's a katana, and then when enemies die, it must be a simulation or something, they turn into these coins. So this currency you get from eliminating other players is likely going to be heavily involved. And again, the logo on the coins, I really think that's going to be heavily involved. And then it kind of does a rewind, and then I think that's pretty much it. So there's not a lot to go off there. It looks like they got a little bit of a Colt Python action going on with the revolver. That looks pretty cool. There's going to be crazy cosmetics and stuff like that. The setting isn't like what I'm excited about here. I don't know if it's going to be immersive, but it might be a really new, fun way for like a tactical competitive FPS experience with that kind of high level destruction in a smaller package. So I think that's actually pretty interesting, and it looks really cool. It's a really cool concept. It's kind of out there and wild, but that's not always too bad. So I don't know if you guys can see anything else. Again, if you guys like these kind of in-depth breakdowns, Rockhound Black will probably break this down absolutely frame by frame. So go ahead and follow his channel after you check out this video. Let's go over to the Steam page and check that out, because there's some interesting information over there that kind of talks about how the game plays. So over on the Steam page, in addition to the trailer, we get some other screenshots that are pretty interesting. Again, it looks like small close quarters, like a European city almost combat area. Then another look at one of the characters and some of the crazy cosmetics. Does look like they're wearing a plate carrier, so that's kind of interesting. There might be some armor involved in the game. Also, I've noticed the blue headset quite a bit. I don't know if it'll be like Tarkov and there'll be any advantage to wearing a headset or anything like that. We see some night action here. This looks like a I've seen it before in the teaser. If it's the same weapon, it looks like that Mac-10 with a massive suppressor on it. If this is the case, that is a pretty cool weapon to have in the game, especially good for close quarter stuff. You can see spectators above, and we also saw in that original teaser posted a few months ago, you could see lights at the top of the arena. So it's going to be like these different kind of maps, but they're overall going to be inside of an arena setting. So there are a lot of night map options, I feel like. Again, cowboy hat, probably gonna buy it. I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for the cowboy hats. Again, it looks like a wide variety of pretty diverse settings for maps and things like that. Now we see like kind of maybe like a traditional Japanese garden type setting. That's the first thing that comes to my mind when I see that. And yeah, we just see a lot of tight corridors. This is a shot from the trailer where we saw like the vending machine come flying out of the wall with the destruction and explosion. So I thought that was pretty cool. There's a couple more screen grabs in these GIFs. There's the Mac-10. You can see the wire stock folded over. There is a couple more little snips, GIFs on the Steam page. Definitely recommend you guys check that out. But yeah, you can see what they say about it. Viewers at home, here's the news you've been waiting to hear. The finals is accepting new contestants, and that means you. That's right. Soon the world could be watching you tear apart our newest dynamic arenas and seize everlasting fame. So talking about dynamic arenas, looks like day, night, there's nighttime. See, that's what's really cool, I think. These maps look like certain places, but in reality, you're inside of a stadium. You guys can see the lights and the timer at the top of the stadium. So that's actually kind of cool. The finals is the world's greatest free-to-play combat game show. Our contestants plug into our virtual world and join teams in escalating tournaments. They fight it out in our beautifully rendered arenas based on real-world locations that they can alter, exploit, and even destroy. So it sounds like the environments being dynamic and destroyable are a big part of the gameplay. And from someone that plays Rainbow Six Siege, that adds a lot of replayability to the game. Depending on what can be destroyed, there's oftentimes new, unusual angles and things and ways to play in the map that you can find. So it being dynamic is really exciting for me from a replayability standpoint. And then it goes on to say, sure, you can aim and shoot, but contestants that add our carefully curated virtual environments to their arsenal are more likely to advance. So your surroundings are important. So do anything you can imagine in the name of victory. Burn arenas to the ground, send wrecking balls. We did see in that original clip a few months ago a wrecking ball hitting a building, crashing into opponents. Don't just pull triggers, pull down buildings. And then it says the world is watching. So I don't know if they're going to try to go an esports route with this or something, or if there's a way to spectate games or something like that. It could be interesting for community nights and stuff if there's a way to do tournaments and stuff like that. So drive your fans wild with thrilling combat on your own personal flares. You compete for worldwide fame and the support of our discerning and stylish sponsors. So maybe you'll get in-game rewards and stuff. The more you win, the more money you make. Kind of like real life, I guess. Yeah, it talks more about the world is your weapon. A skilled contender might go in guns a-blazing, but with environmental destruction in your arsenal, that's just the start of what you can wield against your foes. So it sounds like it's a little bit deeper than just gunplay. So that's the main stuff I saw in here that was noteworthy. But if you guys want to read all of this stuff, if you're really interested in it, definitely check it out. Those are some of the high points I saw that kind of give us a clue on how the game plays. And then if you're on PC on Steam, then you can go ahead and actually request access to the playtest, which I'm going to do right now. Guys, Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. We'll see you on the next video, and have a good one.